Time is never found again. Or is it? By blahblahblah1703, Chapter 8. Some quotes are taken directly from the book. And just in case you all didn't know, neither I nor the author own anything to do with these. We did not create these characters or this plot, just so you are aware. It's the duck tale. I stand there like a dumbass, once again as my little sister gets surrounded by peacekeepers on her walk to the tribute stage. Her skinny little arm reaching out around herself as she tucks in her tail formed by the ill-fitting reaping outfit. Just like last time. I am suddenly unfrozen. This time I don't yell in panic. I calmly push my way through the crowd. But honestly, I don't have to push my way through more than 2 people before the rest part. Split in half like someone took a giant knife and sliced a path through. I volunteer! My voice coming out strong and firm. I volunteer as tribute! I lock eyes with Gale, tilting my head sharply towards Prim, knowing he will get her the hell out of here and to our mothers, waiting in the crowd and audibly crying. He nods at me, immediately understanding, before he starts moving towards us. Prim wraps her arms around me again, crying and telling me not to go. It's all I can do to not cry once again. Finally, Gale gets to us, just as Prim turns hysterical, lifting her up in his arms and walking away from the stage. I am sure Gale said something to me, probably the same thing as last time, but I don't hear it. I hear the rush of my breath, slightly unsteady, and the pounding of my heart. My hands aren't shaking like they were last time. I guess knowing you're getting into the games for the 3rd time makes you a little desensitized. Who would have thought? Lovely, Effie Trinket says. But I believe there is a small matter of introducing the reaping winner and then asking for volunteers. And if one does come forward, then we... She trails off, unsure of herself. What does it matter? Said the mayor. Exactly, you have your tribute. Hamish slurs from his chair on the stage. Just let her come up. He burps. Another disgusting demonstration from 12's biggest celebrity. Bravo. I just climb up the steps in front of me, once again feeling like I am being led to an electric chair. Only I haven't committed a crime. Or at least been convicted of one. Well, bravo, gushes Effie Trinket. That's the spirit of the games. She's pleased to finally have a district with a little action going on in it. What's your name? My name is Katniss Everdeen, I say, my voice clear and low. It would be obvious to people who knew me that I was trying not to cry. But not to anyone else. Hopefully. I bet my buttons that was your sister. Don't want her to steal all the glory, do we? Come on, everyone. Let's have a big round of applause for our newest tribute, Effie says. I wasn't sure I would get this send-off again, but every left hand in the square is currently giving me our 3-fingered salute. The one that means thanks. The one that means admiration. That means goodbye to someone you love. I guess they forgive me for crossing town lines. I'm still not sure why I am awarded this honour. Peter would say something to do with my effect on people. I still say it's because everyone in this godforsaken district loves Prim. Whatever the reason, it is still the biggest act of dissent ever taken in 12. And I guess that is why I kiss my fingers and give it back. Looking out over all of my people. The ones I have bled for. The ones I have sacrificed for. And I will do it again. For them. For me. For Prim and Peter. For every single child killed in the last 74 years. And the ones who would be murdered in the future. I can see Peter. His strong jaw, stronger arms, and his golden hair shining in the sunlight. His left arm raised and pointed towards me, his face set in a grim determination, but for the small upturn at the corner of his lips. Cue Hamish falling off the stage. I am not sure what made him fall this time, but he sprawled out on the ground, unconscious. The interruption didn't even faze the crowd. We in 12 are used to our only mentor's actions. Plus, there are other things to be thinking about. What an exciting day! Effie tries to get the crowd excited again. obviously feeling the anger, hatred and turmoil festering in the square. But more excitement to come. It's time to choose our boy tribute. I take a deep breath. I need to be prepared for this. Peter Malak! The crowd gasps. I don't think there is a single person in 12 who doesn't know about Peter and I. Everyone is whispering to their neighbour, or watching as Peter steps determinedly towards me on the stage, every step bringing him closer to me. Our eyes have not left each other once. We are well aware the games have begun, and every single move from today has to be calculated and exact. Let's hope I can actually stick to the plan. Any volunteers? Effie asks. Silence. I can see Peter looking at Rye, who looks panicked, but he doesn't volunteer for his younger brother. I am not sure if Peter specifically told him he couldn't volunteer for him, or if their family ties just don't run that deep. Either way, it is decided that my boy with the bread will be going into the games. The mayor begins to read the long, dull Treaty of Treason, as he does every year at this point. It is required, but I'm not listening to a word of it. I am thinking about the next step in our plan, the ones to be implemented in a few seconds. The mayor finishes the dreary Treaty of Treason and motions for Peter and me to shake hands. His hands are still warm and soft, a known comfort to me this time, instead of a vague, unknown but possible threat. He gives my hand the same squeeze. Definitely not a muscle spasm. We don't let go. We stand there after our handshake is over, our hands dropped from their position, but still linked. Yes, we are holding hands on the tribute stage. I can't wait to hear what Caesar has to say about this. We turn back to face the crowd as the anthem of Pan Am plays. Still linked together. We are shuffled into the Justice Building, only splitting apart when we are led into two separate directions. Our arms can't stretch any further towards each other. I am once again sitting on this velvet couch, waiting for my loved ones to come and say goodbye to me. My sister and my mother come first, the same as last time. I reach out to Prim, and she climbs onto my lap, her arms around my neck, head on my shoulder, just like she did when she was a toddler. My mother sits beside me and wraps her arms around us. I say nothing for a few seconds, and then I start my demands again, not wasting any time on goodbye, when I know I will see them again. I tell Prim not to take out any tesserae, and I make Mum promise not to check out. I believe her this time when she says she won't, but just in case, I am still firm and direct with her. I tell her she cannot do that to Prim, not when I am not around to help this time. I tell them about Gale's help and how to repay him, though I doubt he'll take anything. I'll be all right, Katniss, Prim said, clasping my face in her hands. But you have to take care too. You're so fast and brave. Maybe you can win. It's the exact same thing she said last time. The words burned into my memory, even more than 2 years later. Prim. I trail off, not knowing what to say. You will try, won't you? Really, really try? Asks Prim. Yes, Prim. I will try, I tell her quietly. She looks at me sadly. Peter is going in too, she whispers, her eyes once again tearing up, thinking of the boy she's gotten to know in the last few months. I know, I say, my voice once again thick as I think of my kind, sweet lover up against Cato once again. Katniss, Prim says quietly, I really want you to win, but I know you won't be the same without Peter. Mum looks at me too, a knowing look in her eye. Guys, make sure everyone knows we weren't dating before this. Tell everyone we were skirting around each other. Get the story straight. Okay? I tell them seriously, but under my breath, trying to be as quiet as possible. They look at me confused. They know this is a weird request. Promise me, okay? I promise to try and come back, but this is part of it. No one can know. I tell them seriously. They nod at me with wide eyes. The peacekeeper comes bursting in through the door behind them. Time's up. he said gruffly. He's not one of my regulars. Prim rushes to hug me one more time, Mum following suit, before they're both grabbed by their arms and dragged towards the door, all of us exclaiming our love and promises as they are pushed through it. It takes everything in me not to cry. My hormones are once again that of my 16-year-old self, and I didn't realise how big a difference 2 years made on them. I sit in silence as I wait for my next visitor. I'm not sure if the baker will come to see me this time. Turns out he will. Goodness, he starts, but I cut him off. Sir, I begin, Peter means a lot to me. I won't abandon him, I say firmly. He looks at me with tears in his eyes. I know you won't. You are your father's daughter after all. Loyal and caring, he chokes out, obviously emotional. I can't speak. He didn't say that last time. And it's obvious he had a great respect for my father. Something I really appreciate. He hands me the bag I know is filled with cookies. I shake my head. Please, give them to Prim, I say pleadingly. He nods. I'll make sure she's okay too, he tells me. Mr. Malark, thank you. For everything, I say with emotion. He looks at me with a look in his eye I can't identify. But if I had to guess, I would say he is sizing me up. I seem to come up strong because he nods at me, a knowing look in his eye. I think he understands that I am saying thank you for Peter. The peacekeeper summons him out the room, and he goes quietly, telling me good luck and sorry one last time. Madge marches in almost immediately. I haven't even had time to sit down again. She gives me a sharp look, but to me, it just shows her determination and anger at this situation. Her two best friends are heading into the games together. Take it, she grits out between her clenched teeth, her arm extending with the pin gripped in her hand. The pin that made Rue trust me. The pin that undermined the capital. Became a symbol of the rebellion. The symbol of me. The Mockingjay. She doesn't wait for me to grab it from her. She just pins it straight to my blue dress. Promise me you'll wear it, as your token. It was my aunt's, and... Just promise me, she says at a whisper, her heat, her own fire dying down almost immediately. Her eyes welled up with tears. Thank you, Madge, I say, trying not to cry, but my voice is still choked up. I know I will end up sobbing into Peter's chest later on the train, but I have to keep it together now. These goodbyes were supposed to be easier. I know I can come back. The odds are actually in my favour this time. So why is this so difficult? She kisses me on the cheek once again and sweeps out of the room, her curly blonde hair swishing, her bright white lace dress moving rhythmically behind her as she walks out. I assume to see Peter this time. Gale slips into the room quietly next, his hunter's tread even softer on the carpeted floor. He sweeps me up into his arms immediately. His smell of wood smoke and fresh laundry soap. A familiar scent after all these years. Listen, he said, getting a knife should be pretty easy, but you've got to get your hands on a bow. That's your best chance. I know he feels helpless, and the only way to take back at least a little bit of control would be to comfort me. Help me how to survive, as we've been doing to each other for 4 years now. So I let him. They don't always have bows, I say. Then make one, Gale said. Even a weak bow is better than no bow at all. I don't even know if they'll be wood, I say. Of course I know our arena will be perfect for me, especially now I know my way around slightly. It'll be even easier. There's almost always some wood, Gale said. That year half of them died from cold. Not much entertainment in that. Yes, there usually is some, I say. Katniss, it's just hunting. You're the best hunter I know, Gale said. Is this the start? The moment he decided human life doesn't matter? Just a means to an end? I can't respond the same way I did last time. Gale! That kind of thinking led to these games. The disregard for human life. I look at him harshly. I can't. I won't think of them like animals to hunt. That won't make me any better than them. Gale looks pissed. I glare back at him, daring him to correct me. Okay, Katniss, he says coolly. Just remember, Prim and everyone else here is waiting for you. You have to come back, he said, a little softer. Yes, Gale. Just keep her safe for me. She's your responsibility now, I tell her sternly. She's your little sister. Just like Posey, I say, hoping he knows I'm serious, and that he remembers this. Even if I do come back, she will still be your little sister. Just like you're my brother, I say, making sure he doesn't get the wrong idea. His face sours at the mention of being my brother, but he doesn't say anything, likely thinking about how I'll change my mind if I come back, without Peter to block him. Too bad, I think. Not going to happen. The peacemaker comes barreling in. Gale begs for more time, something he is denied. Don't let them starve! I cry out, just like I did the last time. I won't! You know I won't! Katniss! Gale gets out, cut off even earlier. Now I really won't ever know what he meant to say. The short ride from the Justice Building to the train station. This time I have been in a car before, but I still look around in amazement, like I haven't. Peter is doing the same beside me. This time his eyes aren't puffy and lined with red, though I can tell he wants to cry again. Effie is weirdly sitting in the front seat this time, next to the driver. So I scoot over, holding his hand in my lap and leaning against him, providing as well as receiving comfort. The station is swarming with reporters, with their insect-like cameras trained directly on our faces. I can tell, though, the minute the cameramen see our joined hands, the cameras fall directly to them, capturing the moment to be shown across the country. Once again, I'm interested to see what Caesar has to say about our obvious closeness. Peter and I keep our heads up, letting people see our faces. The different emotions painted across them. I definitely do not look bored this time. I am sad but focused, like I'm on a mission. And I am. Peter looks strikingly similar. He just looks extra protective. His right shoulder slightly in front of my body, his larger hand completely covering mine. The perfect picture of the overprotective boyfriend. Which he is, I guess. Not that they know that. We push through the cameras after allowing them a few pictures of us, huddled together. The ice-cold air conditioning on the train is a stark contrast to the blistering heat outside. One that is very welcome. Peter leads me to the dining cart, where a table is set up on the side, with all sorts of snacks and drinks, while we wait for our actual meals. He pours me an ice-cold sweet lemonade, something we only ever have in the capital, or on this very train, and gets both of us a finger sandwich. Cucumber and something creamy, like a sweet cheese of some kind. I take both from him with a smile, which he returns, and we sit on the couch area in the car. Effie is looking at us excitedly, but also like she is trying to decipher something about us. It's not hard to imagine what she is curious about, which is the entire point. Okay, Effie chirps excitedly. I see you have already found the refreshment table. There will be meals here as well that are outlined on your schedules in your rooms. If you want to follow me to your quarters, I can show you where they are, and all of the amenities available to you. Only the best for my tributes, after all. Only the best for my tributes, of course. She beckons us along, her heels clicking on the floor as she strides towards the door. Peter and I take one last sip of our drinks and stuff our last bite of our sandwiches in our mouth, before following her to our rooms. They are exactly the same as they were last time. The very confusing shower that I know Peter still hasn't quite figured out how to work properly. The hot and ice-cold running water instead of the slightly less than lukewarm well water that we're used to. The piles of clothes there for us to use, in every colour, style and size imaginable. Not to mention the huge bed with soft sheets and huge fluffy white pillows, and blankets as soft as clouds. She tells us it is ours to do with as we want, whatever we see it for us to use. She points us to our schedules posted on the back of our doors, and bids us goodbye with a reminder not to be late for dinner. As she turns her back on Peter and I, Peter quickly closes his door and crosses the hall into my room, making sure he isn't seen. I quickly shut my door after him, hiding him and I from sight. We pretend to look around a little bit more, making our way into the bathroom. He examines the shower, turning it on full blast on accident, and I do the same with the sink, completely drowning out all listening devices. I turn around to face him, only to find him right behind me. He pushes me against the closed bathroom door, his lips finding mine like a heat-seeking missile. When we eventually part, both of us are breathing heavily. "So, how do you think we did?" I tell him with a cheeky smile. He rolls his eyes at me. "I think we did exactly what we needed to do. Now, on to part 2. He says. I groan. "Do we have to?" I ask him, not looking forward to this at all. He nods empathetically. "I know this is going to suck a lot more for you than for me, but just think of the pain it will save us in the long run," he says. "Fine," I sigh out, moving back into my actual room, leaving him to turn off the shower and sink, well aware we are back to being listened to once again. I go straight for the closet as Peter sneaks back across the hall. It has a touchpad built in, with all the different clothing options, something I did not bother with last time. I pick different clothes than I did 2 years ago. I pick out white flowing pants that cut off right above my ankle, and are tight-fitted to my rear, something I know Peter will love. Then I find a tight-fitting green shirt that has huge puffy sleeves that puff out at my shoulders and then cinch right back at my wrists. I should probably pick out something more exciting, but I can't make myself do it, so this will have to work. I find a pair of heeled black leather boots as well. They aren't tall, coming to rest just an inch above my ankle, but the 3 inches adds to my height is very welcome, as is how comfortable they are. I finish with a hair clip with a metal flower attached to it, as well as a few bracelets on my left wrist, and I layer 3 different necklaces, all simple in design, but when put together, it looks good. Simple, but in a way that the t-shirt and cargo pants I decided to last time. I take my chosen items and lay them out on my bed. Now for the part I am dreading. I prep, using the gritty, paste-like stuff that leaves my skin red and raw, but soft as a baby. And then I do it again. I wash my hair twice with a shampoo that smells like honeysuckle, and then I use the accompanying things that I honestly don't even know what they do. There is one I leave on for 5 minutes that leaves my hair like silk, and then there is another one that I put on my scalp that tingles and does something, and then there's one that I put on the ends of my hair that makes all the split ends go away. I think. I can't tell you what they are called, but I hated every second of it. I even found a setting with this goo that removes all my hair wherever I put it. Why my prep team demanded I be waxed is a mystery to me. This stuff is so much easier, and it doesn't hurt. I am never getting waxed again. I then scrub myself down one more time before getting out of the shower, smelling like my usual summer in the woods, with all the honeysuckle. I use the electric box to flash dry my hair and fix it. One press of a button and ta-da! I then find the lotions and things. I apply one scented like oranges, along with a leave-in hair goo that also smells like oranges. I put myself through the torture of tweezing my eyebrows, knowing I would rather that than wax, and I cut about 1/2 inch off my hair, something most seam residents are good at doing for themselves. I finish my preparation by cutting and cleaning my nails, hands and feet. I think that's all I can do by myself, and I don't even know if I've done everything right. But I guess anything is better than nothing, so I'm not too worried about it. I quickly slip into my chosen outfit and jewellery, including my Mockingjay pin, clip the front pieces of my hair back, and walk out of my bathroom, only to find Peter laying back in my bed, his hands resting behind his head and his eyes shut lazily, looking perfectly content and comfortable. He looks good. A white collar shirt with a cream sweater over it, with a long jet black jacket on top, and pressed brown pants. That make his behind look amazing. A pair of bright white socks that wrap around his ankle, and a shining pair of brown shoes that have obviously been shined just for this one look. A silver watch and thumb ring complete his look, his hair falling in his natural curls over his forehead, just the way I like it. He must have heard the bathroom door open, because he opens his eyes as I walk out. He whistles. "Whoa! You look beautiful," he says, his eyes wide as they run over me. I give him a little twirl, just for his viewing pleasure. a smirk on my face. He gawks at me as I walk up to him. I reach out to push his bangs off his forehead and give him a smile as I do. You don't look so bad yourself, I say cheekily. He holds out his arm for me to take. Shall we? He asks. I take his arm and take a deep breath. Lead the way. End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that one. Woo, woo, woo. I hope I got the emotions right. I actually like how they're doing on the train. That's nice. And all that bit with Gail. Making sure she says, "You're my brother," as a way to like slam down the fact that she's not interested. Brother zoned. Take that, you Prim Reaper. But the thing is, I don't openly hate Gale. I don't like him because I find him obnoxious. And I don't blame him for being angry. He's the representation of what anger can do to people to make things seem justified. And he is still only, 18, 19 when he's at the end of the series? So while I don't forgive him for what happened to Prim, and I do find him obnoxious, I don't openly hate him. I just dislike. And Katniss being flirty with Peter at the end. It feels good to see her like this. Poor girl's been through so much and she's about to go through it all over again. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe and hit that bell to get notified for whenever I upload a new video. Have a good day, night or whatever time zone you're in. Bye my guys, gals and non-binary pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care.